Hello everyone, my name is Hector Mendoza. In Microsoft Office 365, using Word, you can use this thing's called tables. You can go in and create things like this. For instance, you can create documents or you can create a table. I use a program that has a lot of codes that we have to use. Either you can use pull downs or you can use commands. So I create myself documents similar to this that help me memorize codes that we use all the time. They're simple. It's easier when you have a document like this. Or you can also create things like this. This also helps me. These are my sheets that I use when I'm out there in the field. We use a program like a 3D program similar to to draw homes. Okay, so if you notice, Microsoft Word has this thing right here, which is this guy right here, right, that you see in red. That is a ribbon. Okay, and inside this ribbon you're going to have tabs, which is like that's a tab, and each one of them do different things. Within each tab, if you notice, it gives you different groups. What we're going to talk about is using the insert tables. Now keep in mind, when you're using this thing right now, Acrobat is the last tab. You see how I have this highlighted? In a minute, there's going to be 2 additional tabs once I start using tables. So I'm going to create just a simple little table. So if you go to table, and this is the easiest way to create a table. So I release, and with inside each block, it's like a cell, just like it would be in Excel. Okay, so you could go in here and alter the cells. You can type inside them, or you can color, you can reverse text, you can make all kinds of different things. For instance, let's say that I wanted a big old heading right here. I could go in here and merge all those cells, go into my typography part of Microsoft and start typing heading. Okay, so you see I went and combined all those cells. I could also go in there, combine those two, merge them, then merge those two, and so let me just do okay, and oops, sorry about that. Merge. This thing's getting in my way. There we go. Merge. And same thing here. Now I could select them all and tell all of them to be centered, and I could go in here and put category like so in each area you can just select the area and you could paint it. Like let's say you wanted that to be like that. You could go in here and change the font to, let's say, white. Let's say all of this items you might want them yellow. So you can start creating, or let's say you could go in here and make that gray, and then every other one you could make them gray, right? So I'm just showing you some real basic stuff in doing oops. All I'm doing is left clicking, dragging down, and then coloring, you know. So okay, that's the last one we'll do. Okay, so you can do different things like that. And inside each one of these things, you can tell it to do certain things. Like, let's say on this here, I could combine all of those into one. I could go in here and merge those cells. You right click and you just merge. You can drag, left click, and merge. So once you do something like this, at that point, okay, so now remember I was telling you whenever you click on a table, you have this other options. So I could select here, and I'm just going to type this is a test. Okay, so, and I'm not going to do that to every one of them, but I could go in here, go to my layout, and I could actually rotate the text. Like for instance, I could, here, let me bring this so you can see it. I could make it look that way. I can put it there, or I could put it on the top. I could go in here, and right now it's left. You can't tell because there's a lot of words in there, but I could center it. So let me delete some of those characters. So you can see I can send it to the left, center it to the right. I can also, within this box, I could center it inside this box. These are just part of the things that you can do. You could also, let's say that I have this box here, and I decided that I didn't want a solid box. I wanted to split this. I could go in here and split that cell into number of columns. I'm going to say 1, and I'm just going to say 3. Hit OK. I added 3 columns to that. So I'm not going to go over all of these things here because the video would be too long. But what's another thing you could do? Let's say that you don't want those lines. You can use your eraser and just delete. Oops. Get your eraser and delete those lines. See, there's another line I want to delete. You also have properties. We're not going to go over all that because I'm going to start making my videos real short. I make them way too long. So I've had a bunch of friends tell me, hey man, I love your videos, but they're long. I don't want to put nobody to sleep. Okay, so that's the basic, right? So, and then if you hit escape, when you have a certain tool, all you have to do is hit escape, and then you'll get your mouse back. So I'm going to delete this. So to delete it, I'm going to start at the bottom, go up past it, and then you can either hit backspace or delete. I'm going to hit enter. That way it gives me a space. So you could actually hit enter, backspace, or delete. Okay, now let me show you a different way to do that. We don't need all this here now because I just wanted to show you what to look for. Okay, so let's delete this. Now, if you went in here and you drew a table with this like this, that's all the ones that it gives you. So basically you only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows. But what happens if you create a 17 by 24 document, though we're talking inches, and you had 24 rows and let's say 50 lines? this is what you would have to do. You'd have to go to the last one and hit tab, 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 tab. Watch what happens. I mean, that's a lot of. Or you can select everything, hit Control C, go to the first one, and hit Control V, and do it that way, right? Oh, you'd have to go back to the end of each one. Okay. Okay. And you can copy and paste that and so on. Okay, well, there's an easier way to doing that. Okay, you can go to Insert Tables. This time we're going to say Insert Tables. Now, I'm going to tell this, I want 4 columns and I want 200 rows or in lines, however you want to call it. They call it rows. So I'm going to say, let's say 250 rows. And look, right here, it says Fix Width Auto. Look what it does. It automatically separated or divided that by the width of your, and it gave you 250 rows. Okay, Control A, Control Delete. Okay, so another way of doing this is when you go into Insert Tables, you can tell it this auto to contents and auto to width is if you're adding something to your columns. Okay, so if you're going to add something to them, you know, like text, this is where you're going to use it. So for right now, let's go ahead and let me show you something. So I am going to hit OK. Now, first of all, here I want more rows and columns in that. Okay, so let's go in there and hit Insert. Let's hit 5 and let's say 20. I'm gonna hit OK. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create some random text. Control N. I'm gonna hit random. I want let's say 20 sentence, 20 paragraphs, 1 sentence, and I'm gonna hit Enter. Whoa! I need to put an equal sign there. Come on, you big dummy. Here we go. Oh, okay, here, let's do it all over. Equals random, open parenthesis, 50 paragraphs, 1 sentence per paragraph, enter. There we go. I gotta say it out loud in my head to make it work. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit Control A, Control C. I'm gonna go back to this document. Okay, so if I click here and I hit Control V, it fed it to this thing because how I created it. Okay, remember what we told it to do. We told it to fit to the width of this. Okay, so let's delete everything. Now this time we're going to go Insert Table, Insert Table. This time I'm going to tell it Auto Contents. Okay, so it's going to fit into the size of what we put in there, the text, the contents that we put in there, right? So I know some of these sentences are long, so either I'm going to have to create the Word document bigger, which I'll do that real quick for you. Layout, size, more sizes, and let's say 23. Okay, and we're going to hit OK. So 22, so I'm going to let me do 22. Okay, and ignore. Okay, here we go. So now we got a big long document, and I'm going to go in here and insert. I'm going to put tables. I am going to tell insert tables. We're going to tell it 5 like we did earlier. the number of rows. No, you know what? This is a big document, so let's say 15. Number of rows, let's say 15. And this time we're going to auto fix contents. So now when we hit OK and I put text on the first one, look what happens. Hit Control V. See, the longest line that I have is this one, each other. That's the longest line. So it fed the window to what I have typed. And I'm going to hit Control V again. You see, it pushes everything. So each one of these rows, we told it to fit to that size. That's what that means. Okay, so let's delete that. And let's go back to the other document. Okay, now if we go to Insert Tables, Auto Window, same thing. You know, it's a Autofit Window. So basically, it's going to here. Let me show you what it's going to do. Okay, so Insert Table. I'm going to tell it again 5. Let's just do 5. This time we're going to tell it 20 rows. Auto fit to window. Hit OK. So if you hit Control V on the, see, it auto fit to the window of the what you have in there. Okay, so now let's keep on going. So when you go to Insert, there's another thing you can do. It's called Draw Tables. It's the same thing as this, except it's a little more, you have to know your other, how to change your properties. So look, I'm going to click here, anywhere I want. If I want to start right here in this, you see where my pencil is? If I left click, draw right there, it draws one little box, right? Now I have to tell it how many rows and how many columns I want to divide within that box, right? So I have to go in here and split the table. Oh, excuse me. I'll show you that later. So you click here, go to Layout and Split Cell. Okay, so we're going to say 3 with 3 columns with, let's say, 5 rows. And you hit OK, and it created that from what we selected. Okay, so that's how you do that. And the same thing, you can select, right click, merge, select, right click, merge, or whatever you want. Change colors, change the way is fit, right justified, left justified, center to the column. So that's what that does. Now if we go into tables, now we have Excel spreadsheets. Okay, so let's say we have text in here. So enter random, let's say 3 paragraphs, 3 sentences per paragraph, enter. Okay, now so if I go in here, I'll go Insert Tables. Oh, no, that's not what we're talking about. Sorry about this. Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so I'm going to click here, and it automatically launch Excel. So you have to have Excel to make this work, right? So let's say I'm going to put some random numbers. Okay. And then let's say I want to divide everything by 2. Okay, so equals this times that, and then I want the rest of them to follow that thing. But here at the end, I want to say that each person gets 60% commission, so equals the total times 0.6, and so that would be your take home. Okay, Okay. Um, so now, if you notice, this is Excel. Whatever I put in Excel, now there's more. If I remember, you only see two here, but there's more here, right? So let me show you something. I'm gonna go in here and actually here, let me put it in this corner. Oh, wrong. Took it to the other. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this to. Let's split those two screens. Okay, so whatever I do in this Excel file, which I don't have to save this Excel file. Okay, don't worry about that. Remember what I was showing you about those other things. You can also do the same thing with Excel. You can do everything you did on those tables that you can in Excel. So for right now, I'm going to color. Okay, so I'm going to color this red. Okay, so I don't like the way this look. I don't have a lot to show. Okay, so here, let's color that. And then, so let's say the commission would be a different color, and then those other ones would be your regular number, right? And then we want to put a border around everything, right? So you go to borders, and look, I'm going to close this. I'm not even going to save it. I'm just going to close it. See, it created that table for you. I could go in here, and so you save this document. Remember, I didn't save that. I didn't save that table. But let's say you want to enlarge that table. It's going to enlarge it for you. You want to make the. You can make the columns bigger. You can do whatever whatever you want with this thing here. Now, let's say that stretched it. Okay, if you go to the corner of this, it proportionally does it. If you want to stretch it, look at the fonts, how wide they get. Okay, if you want to make them long words, see. So watch this. You can do all kinds of things with this table. And let's say you saved it. You come back and they told you, man, dude, your performance is not good. I can only pay you 50% commission instead of 60%. You can double click here, go in here and change it to 0.5 instead of 0.6, but make sure you change the rest of your formulas. Okay, and then you don't have to save it. All you have to do is close it. Remember, 530 and the last one's 45. 530, 45. Okay, so that's how you use this spreadsheet. Now you see these quick tables. I don't like them because there's a better way to do calendars and things like that. Because right now, if you go in here and you use this quick tables, let's use one of these calendars, that calendar there, okay, and let's make it a little big so you can see it. So if you change this to June, see, June doesn't start in Tuesday. I don't care if you change this to April. Okay, let's say May, June, July. those numbers are not changing. There are ways that you can do that in Excel, and you can bring that in here. So I so far, and I might be wrong, I don't know. I haven't seen a way to go in here and really use these quick tables. Okay, guys, I hope this helped you a little bit. There's a lot more to it than that. I tried not to make these videos too long. Thank you for watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not, I hope you become one. And if you do like my stuff, give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Have a good day.